Hey Gryphons, in today's videos, we're gonna be cooking one of my favorite foods, eggs. Okay guys, so we're gonna prepare eggs in a few different ways today. We're gonna soft and hard boil an egg. We're gonna fry a couple eggs, and we're gonna scramble eggs. Eggs are super simple to cook. They're really versatile. You can really do anything like it. You know, we can poach them as well. We can bake them in the oven with your favorite veggies in either a frittata, strata, or shirred eggs. They're pretty inexpensive and delicious. So first up, we're just going to bring a pot of water up to a simmer, right? And then for the eggs, we're actually going to salt the water as well. I know that might seem kind of weird, but adding that sodium into the water will actually raise the boiling point a little bit. And then if the eggs do crack during the cooking process, that extra sodium in the water is actually going to help the egg coagulate and stay a little bit more firm and together around the shell instead of just spreading out through the water. So we've got our water up to the boil. Using a spoon, we're going to put 4 eggs in. Once they're in, we're just going to give them a light stir, let them kind of float around in the water. We're going to make sure that it just stays at a simmer. You can see here the water is just boiling nicely, not a rolling boil. If it's boiling too hard, what might happen is the eggs will raise up off the bottom of the pot and come crashing back down and crack on you. So for soft-boiled eggs, we're going to let these go for 6 minutes, and for a hard-boiled egg, we're going to go 12 minutes, and then straight into an ice bath to stop the cooking process. It's been 6 minutes. So we're going to pull our eggs out for our soft boil. We could take them, put them in a dish. Right. We're going to run them under cold water just to take a little bit of the heat off so we can handle them. Then we're just going to crack the shell, kind of give it a slight roll. We're just going to peel the shell off, just like this. Okay, here we go. Here's our 6-minute soft-boiled egg. I like to just take a little bit of butter, salt and pepper, just throw it in there and mix it up. And this is a great, quick either breakfast or snack, just like this. Okay, so it's been exactly 12 minutes now. So for a perfect hard-boiled egg, we want literally 12 minutes from start to finish for a large size egg. So you can either put this into a bowl of ice and water, or just run the pot under cold running water. And that's going to stop the cooking process and keep the egg from getting like a gray film around the yolk after it's peeled. So we're going to let these sit in the ice water for just a couple minutes and cool down. Then we're going to peel them up and go from there. Okay, so we got our hard-boiled eggs. They're cooled off now, so they're good just to pop in the fridge and have as a snack after school, on campus, anything you like. You can see here, since we've cooked it exactly for that 12 minutes, everything is completely opaque all the way through, fully cooked. There's no soft spots in the center. There's no gray ring between the yolk and the white. That's exactly what we want to see. Perfect egg. Salt and pepper, they're good like that. But so many people love egg salad. So you can either take it, throw it in a bowl, mash it up with the back of a fork. If you're doing a bunch of them, you can just take a cheese grater like this, grate the egg up. Got some mayonnaise here. A little bit of salt. I'm gonna mix that up. And right there, we've got our classic egg salad right there. So next up, we're going to scramble some eggs. I'm just going to take a couple eggs. Usually for me, 2 eggs is good enough. If you want to have 4 eggs, you want to have 10 eggs, go right ahead. Just going to put them in a bowl, just even using a fork. You can use a whisk if you like. Just whisk them up. At this point, some people like to add a little bit of cream into their eggs. I like to add a couple pads of butter though into the pan while I'm scrambling them. Another great tip, if you take a little bit of lemon juice, you squeeze a little lemon in there right now, it helps the eggs get nice and fluffy. Gonna put a little pinch of salt in. And we're gonna go to the pan. So I've got a couple knobs of butter. And the pan set medium heat. Once the butter melts, I'm just gonna add the eggs to the pan and stir them around with a heat-resistant spatula. Heat-resistant spatula is a good idea to have because especially when you're inside a pot or a pan and you're stirring with it, if it's not heat-resistant, you're actually melting that plastic and it's winding up coating your food. So. Eggs in. We're just going to start stirring them up. You can see the eggs are cooking all around. Just going to keep working them into the center. If you let them cook to the side of the pan up higher, you usually kind of get like almost like a papery skin on them. It's not the most appealing. You can see how quick this is. Literally within about a minute, these eggs are going to be done. I'm going to flip them one more time. Just let them cook. You can see here, guys, so the eggs have all cooked all together. Right? The eggs have gone from translucent to being opaque. Some people like to cook them a little bit less, but right here, this is perfect. You can see they're not overcooked, they're not brown or anything, and the egg itself is fully cooked. Just put it on a plate. You're ready to go with scrambled eggs. All right, here we go with the classic over easy fried egg. So I got a little dish here. Just gonna crack our eggs into the dish. Look, it's a good idea to crack inside a little bowl like this before you put the eggs inside the pan, just in case you break the shell, or sometimes you might find a little blood spot with the egg. You're able to take that egg out instead of just going right inside the pan. Okay, so we've got our non-stick pan here. We've heated it up over medium heat. Just gonna take a couple knobs of butter. We're just gonna let them melt. So once the butter is started to melt, we're just gonna take our 2 eggs and we're gonna tip them into the pan. When we tip them into the pan, I'm gonna hold the pan slightly elevated at the handle and let the eggs go to one side of the frying pan. What that's gonna allow, what it's gonna help with is keeping the 2 egg yolks right next to each other when we go to cook them. So now that the egg has started to set up around those yolks and I put the pan back down, the white's gonna come back, fill up the whole pan, but those 2 yolks are right side by side. And that's gonna help us when we go to flip the egg. So again, we're just gonna cook these on medium heat. It's a little high right now. As you can see with the egg, it is starting to set up around the edges. You'll start to see it setting up below the yolks. And once the white is set up a little bit firmer on the edges, we're gonna flip the eggs. I'm just gonna flip the pan, but you can use a spatula if you like. We're going to cook it for 10 seconds on the other side, and that's all it takes to cook a perfectly fried egg. Okay, you can see here our eggs are ready to flip. The white has already started to set up everywhere. The yolks are sitting nice and high. They're starting to firm up, so we'll just flip it, just like that. You can use a spatula if you like. And we're going to count. So we'll probably have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's it. Over easy eggs. Flip it back, straight onto our plate. So here's a great chef's tip for cooking bacon. So if you like the classic bacon and eggs in the morning for your breakfast, but don't want to wait around to cook 3 strips of bacon, cook the whole pound at once. So if you get yourself a cooking sheet, piece of parchment paper, and just line them up, just slightly overlap, you can cook them in the oven at about the same time that it takes to cook an egg. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Like always, check out the description below for recipes and links. Follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. And remember to hit the subscribe button and the notification button and to get any of our future videos. Until then, please stay safe and eat well.